Good evening and welcome to the Town of Babylon Planning Board. Today is the 8th of July, 2024. We do have one public hearing. Could we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Jerry, could you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can you just unmute me? Patrick Halpin.
Present.
Frank Santos. Present. Julianne Nolan. Jerry O'Neill. Dan Trushin.
Present.
Ed Wynn.
Present.
Juan Leon.
Present.
Vinny Biondo. Nunzio Russo. Present. Rich Casey. We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. All right, before we begin the public hearing, I'd like to read this statement into the record. The Planning Board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the Planning Board may determine that any approvals, building permits, or other actions previously granted in connection with the application are null and void.
Item A on the agenda, public hearing, minor subdivision, job number 24-22B. Edward Ratuzny proposes to subdivide a parcel of land totaling 12,542.28 square feet into one 6,532.08 square foot lot and one 6,010.2 square foot lot in order to erect a new two-story single-family dwelling on lot number 2 and legally maintain the existing two-story family dwelling on lot 1.
Okay, who's here on behalf of the applicant?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bazell, Blanda, and Visconti with offices at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
Okay, welcome. Have you had the opportunity to review the memo?
Yes.
Dated the 26th of June, 2024, from Katie Riley of the Planning Department?
Yes, we have.
Are there any issues, any concerns, anything that you'd like to bring to our attention regarding any of the conditions and restrictions and covenants outlined in this memo?
No, Mr. Chairman, we consent to all of them, including single-family dwelling, owner-occupied.
Single-family dwelling, okay. All right, please proceed.
I'm here tonight seeking subdivision approval for a two-lot subdivision that is proposed to be located on the southwest corner of 50th Street and Buffalo Avenue. We did obtain ZBA approval for all the variances back in March of 2024, this year. Briefly, on Lot 1, just to go over what variances were granted, on Lot 1 we had sought lot area, frontage, and setbacks, and that's for an existing dwelling. And on Lot 2, we sought lot area and frontage for a proposed new dwelling. We met all of the setback requirements on that lot and building area as well. So, as I said, we consent to all of the covenants. Signs were posted on both 50th Street and Buffalo Avenue for this hearing. We are located on the southwest corner of Buffalo and 50th Street. It's west of the Chase Bank that's located on Wellwood Avenue, just to give you a point of reference. The property is zoned Residence B. It has an overall lot area of 12,542 square feet with 125 feet and change of frontage on 50th Street and about 100 feet of frontage on Buffalo. It's presently improved with a two-story dwelling and a detached garage. The dwelling itself obtained variance approval from a separate application to have a first and second story addition back in April of 2022. At that time, the applicant was thinking they were going to keep the home and reside there, and so they had sought some setback variances, and they had gotten that CO'd. Also at that time, the tax assessor changed the address from 812 Buffalo to 207 50th Street because the front of the house faces 50th Street. So it's sort of an AKA. If you look it up on Google Maps, you can find the property either way. You can find it by 812 and you can find it by 207 50th Street. That construction was completed and it was CO'd for the addition back in August of 2023. After that, the applicant reconsidered its circumstances and decided to apply for a subdivision. And as I said, we applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals. We had a hearing in November of 2023. At that time, there was a neighbor in attendance, and there was some talk about The driveway, the surveyor at the time inadvertently left a driveway out, so it didn't look like we had parking for the new house. So I'm going to walk the board through that. And also there was a concern about whether or not there was a second kitchen in the existing dwelling. So the applicant consented to an inspection, which was completed on December 13th of 2023, and there's no second kitchen. There were no locks on doors to make it a boarding house of anything of that nature. The inspection passed, and there were no further issues with that. We then submitted revised plans to the zoning board showing, as you can see on the survey, a 40-foot long driveway for the new proposed dwelling, and we did locate the driveway away from the neighbor to the west. This way, the ingress and egress would be further away from their driveway, which is along the property line. So Lot 1 would maintain the existing house. As I said, it had a front yard setback relief on both 50th Street and Buffalo Street. We also sought to diminish the frontage from 80 feet to 65.21 and the lot area from 10,000 square feet to 6,532 square feet. The existing garage that straddles our proposed property line would be removed, but the concrete driveway for that parcel would remain. So in other words, we would still have the double driveway that you can enter onto off of Buffalo Avenue, and that would provide the off-street parking for the existing house. For Lot 2, we're proposing a new single-family two-story dwelling. It would comply, again, with all of the setbacks. We are providing a 15-foot side yard on both sides. For that, we received variances to reduce the frontage on 50th Street from 80 feet to 60 feet, and we diminished lot area from 10,000 square feet to 6,010.2 square feet. That proposed home is modest in size and fits the lot. It is a 3-bedroom home. We have an open floor plan on the first floor. So you walk in, you have living room, dining room, a kitchen open to a family room, and then there's a bathroom on the first floor. On the second floor, there's 3 bedrooms, a full bathroom, and laundry on the second floor. The basement is for storage and mechanicals only. It is not to be a finished basement. When we took a look at the surrounding area, there's mixed sizes in the area. These were points I had made to the zoning board when it came time for them to look at the variances. Immediately adjacent to us to the west is a 50 by 100 foot lot that had ZBA approval. Across the street to the north, tax lot 41 is a 50-footer, and next to that is lot 40, which was also a 50-footer, or I should say is a 50-footer. Across the street to the east is a 50 by 100, and that's on the corner of Buffalo and 50th. Then you hit Lindy Eye Care, you hit Chase Bank. And so as I had said to the zoning board in terms of whether or not it fit the character, of the 30 lots within the 200-foot radius, 14 of them are 5,000 square foot lots, which is about 47%. That's substandard, which is less than we're actually proposing, because we're proposing, a 6,500 and 6,000 square foot roughly. And 3 lots within that 200-foot radius are commercial. Only 7 comply. So we do feel that we are in character. We are providing the necessary off-street parking. Again, for the new home, we did try to go with a house that would fit in terms of setbacks. As I said, we are providing a 15-foot side yard for the existing neighbor and then a 15-foot interior side yard. We met front yard and rear yard. We met the height, and we meet building area for that parcel. And we agree to all covenants. It is the intention of the property owner to sell these homes, and whoever they sell them to, the covenants would run with the land, and so they would see on their title report that the home has to be single-family, owner-occupied, no accessory apartment, etc. There's about, I believe, 12 or 13 covenants for each parcel. If the board has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the board members have any questions? Any questions, Brian?
Just to clarify, the basement, there's no living space at all?
Correct. It's an unfinished basement. Just mechanicals are down there.
Dan, you have a question? No? Anyone else? No? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Is there anyone from the public here that would like to address? Okay. Okay, we have, could Could you please state your name and address? No, come on up.
Augie Dirigi.
Hold on, Augie, come on up. Come on up, both of you can come up. State
I'm
your
Augie
name.
Dirigi, and this is my wife Debbie Dirigi. We live at 213 50th Street, the property adjacent to them. Before this property...
Hold on, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the
Yes,
truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
Yes.
Okay. We own the property adjacent to the property. I was opposed to them subdividing the property. It got done well during COVID, so a lot of that, I couldn't make all those meetings for that, when that happened. I've known the original owner of the property, I've known the second owner of the property, and then this gentleman took over the property. And this gentleman seems to do whatever he wants on the property. He tried to turn the garage in the property into a workshop with his son. He had thousands of truck parts parked up against my property, tires, everything else. I had to go to the town and make a complaint about that. He had to get that removed. Presently, his fence is on my property, the border there. I saw a copy of the prints. I asked for a copy of the prints. When I stopped at the town, they couldn't provide me with a copy. They didn't have a copy machine to provide me with a copy
The survey?
of the proposed plans. It said something about 15 feet from the stockade fence. The stockade fence is technically on my property right now, because that's when he put it up on my property. That was when both pieces of property faced Buffalo. I bought my piece of property over 27 years ago because I didn't have a house built right on top of me. This is why I bought the house. I've lived in Lindenhurst for more than 34 years. I used to live on 52nd Street. I had a permitted two-family that my brother and I both owned. There was no, it had to be permitted because it was two of us living there, even though all of us were on the deed. And I had to provide ample parking for all the vehicles on my property at that time. So I had to add an extra driveway. Currently, he states that he's living there, him and his son are living there. They're not living there. He's renting it out. I don't care what he says, he's lying. He's got people living there now. They've been in and out. They cleaned up the property. What they do is they put a lipstick on a pig to make it look good in presentation for you guys. I'm tired of listening to it. You know, I know eventually you guys are going to probably approve it no matter what, because I know you guys want your tax money. But I'm making a statement that I'm opposed to it. My wife is very opposed to it. I've done nothing but having to listen to him hammering and banging on his garage when he was doing the garage to alter that. Then when he took over 2 years to do the house, and I don't even know if he had any licensed people there doing the work, because I see some violations there with the heating and ventilation that comes right out under his steps on the existing house. The print that I got, the paperwork that I got says 812. It's not 812 anymore. It's a different address. Even on the paperwork, it still has 812 on the paper that I saw. So I didn't even know the address, his new address, until today that you said it. You know, I'm in the fire department. I like to know what my addresses are right next door to me. So I'm opposed to this being done.
Ma'am, would you like to speak?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, we're a retired couple, and my husband said, we've been here for 27 years in this house, and we specifically bought our house to have room and to retire. You know, we're quiet. We don't go to work anymore. You know, we've been in Lindenhurst for over 36 years. So, you know, we just want to have peace and quiet. We've had this banging, you know, this construction, and now we're going to have to do it again. We're going to have to wake up every morning and hear banging all day long until this house is you know, erected. You know, I mean, it's not right for us. It's really not right, you know, and I don't know who's going to be in there, you know, and how much noise is going to be there. You know, I mean, we appreciate you know, hearing us, and it's just very disturbing. It's just very disturbing. We wanted this house. It's one-story, small house for my husband and I. Our grandchildren once in a while come over. We're very quiet people, and that's all we wanted. We just wanted to live our life in retirement quiet.
Sir, do you want to add something?
Yes, I want to add, I want to make sure that if this does go progress, that make sure that the garage and the shed are taken down prior to any of the construction to build that new house. It's on the paperwork that it's supposed to be taken down. It was brought up once last time that it would be taken down before any construction would be done. Because I have a feeling what he would do is try and get that house built, then ask for a variance to keep the damn garage. You know, this is a game that he's been playing, saying last time he said him and his son were living there. They're not living there. You know, and, you know.
It's got to be on the property line.
And I want to make sure that the house, if the house does go, it's going to be off,
Property line.
15 feet off my property line. Now, I appreciate you letting me talk.
Thank you for
Yes,
coming down.
thank
Thank
you
you.
thank you for hearing us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You have some questions? Okay, where's our planning person? Do you want to point that? You want to draw the attention to what is here on the proposed subdivision lot? Yes, survey? Go ahead, please.
So, as it states on the site plan, the frame garage as well as the shed are to be removed during construction.
It says during. I was told.
Okay, hold on, one at a time. We're gonna,
He pointed to me, that's why I answered.
oh, okay, well, that's okay. Now, we would keep a written record, so we want to make sure the record is correct.
Yeah, well, the site plan states that both the frame garage and the frame shed are to be removed.
And what about the existing fence that was, the stockade fence that that the gentleman spoke to us about being on their property? Do we have a survey for this property? Okay, well, you don't have to do it today, but you get that information to us, yeah. Okay, and also, if you can, you could email that information to this couple. Why don't you, before you leave, give them your email. Well,
I
give,
had foiled it years when it first started.
all right, well, you have a
but
foil
I'll
on.
make sure.
Well, just give them the email, they'll get you all that information. Any other questions? No? None? Anybody? Okay, Counselor, could you come up, please? Could you address the issues that were raised?
Sure. So on the survey that is up behind you, and you probably have it on your monitors in front of you,
Yes, we do.
you can see that it says on the west property line, it says stockade. So that's indicating the stockade fence from the surveyor who's guaranteeing the survey and certifying it that it is along the property line. So if there is a belief that our surveyor is somehow incorrect, then perhaps they could get their own survey and it could be flagged and, it could certainly be looked at. But according to our surveyor, as it's shown on that survey, it is on the actual property line.
And what about the other issues of the shed that was supposed to be removed and all of that?
So the shed and the garage, as part of the addition that was done to the existing house, at that time was not supposed to be removed because that house was remaining, but it is to be removed now. And so my understanding of how the town works is we would not get COs for the existing house and the new house if the shed and the garage are not removed, because it would not comply with our subdivision map, it would not comply with our approvals.
That's right, you would not get.
So that's right, so it would not be CO'd.
And did you state for the record that the owner plans to sell these two houses?
Yes, the owner plans to sell the house. Ed Bertuzzi lives at 33 Payne Street in Lindenhurst. I did say that at the zoning board hearing as well. It's his son who has resided at this home. He also has a home upstate, so he's upstate right now, and there's family living in the home. I do have a copy of the inspection that was done in December, if the board wants a copy for the record.
Sure, that would be good.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Ms. Leonard, going back to the fence, is it the stockade fence here, isn't it shown running from 1.25, 1.2 feet on one side to .09 outside the property line there?
That is, but that is not this neighbor.
What's that?
That's a different neighbor, that's to the south.
Okay, but is that fence going to remain, or can that fence also be relocated onto the property line?
If it's our fence, we can relocate it.
And you don't know if that one?
I'm not sure if the stockade fence to the south, is that our fence? Yes. So then that could be relocated 1 foot.
Okay, so that could cure that line. And what's the remedy on the other side?
Well, I mean, according to the surveyor, we're exactly on the property line.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right. Any other questions, comments? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public hearing and reserve decision. Motion by Juan,
Motion to close and reserve public decision?
second by Ed.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. The public hearing has now been closed. The decision has been reserved in order for us to review the feedback we've received this evening and any open site plan issues. The record will remain open for written comments. To follow up on the status of the application or to submit additional written comments, you can contact the planning department in either the following methods. In person, planning is located on the west wing of Town Hall. Application documents and plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. or via phone. The number is 631-957-3103, or via email, planning comments, that's one word, planning comments @townofbabylon.com. Thank you. Okay. You might want to give them your email address, okay? Thank you. Okay, you want to pass that around? Oh, yeah, let's, that's our